This is Homefront, the Revolution. We're on Xbox Series X. The game is retaining its Xbox One X enhancement, so that means we're getting a push towards a 4K resolution, but in reality it is 1800p. There is HDR support built into this one, and it also features a 30 FPS cap. So with that, this is a game that really launched to bad reviews and horrible performance, and then the One X enhancement came, and it was better. It really was. It was definitely a better experience that way. And now, it's just perfectly smoothly playing the whole time through. So this was an interesting release because, it continued the Homefront series and actually kind of gave the series a bit of a, I guess you could say, a chance to really become something bigger than it necessarily was off the first release. But obviously this one I do not think did very well. It also has a multiplayer component, which we'll try to show off some gameplay of, though that might not be entirely possible. So there are, well, basically these collectibles you can find, and you've got these missions. So what was interesting about, this Homefront the Revolution release was that the campaign kind of had more of an open feeling to it in terms of how you kind of move through levels and the scale of it, and it had an interesting premise where the US, Philly particularly, was basically being taken over by the Koreans, which kind of follows the events of the first title, obviously with a different setup in that. And I think they could have went further with this concept because it's actually kind of neat. This dystopian setting, the use of technology against the U.S. and the breakdown of their society, I think that's actually kind of fascinating. But yeah, it just kind of really didn't hit the mark. I don't remember being too happy with this one in terms of how it kind of turned out and everything like that. At the same time, it's an interesting title. It really genuinely is something a little bit unique and different, and I think that kind of makes it a little bit of a fun one to take a look at because it does offer some neat options. So apparently it also has the game UI layer at 4K, so I don't know if that really matters, but I guess I would mention it, I suppose. And yeah, it's just, it's interesting. Just we're kind of hacking this thing. And yeah, I like the use of technology and what you would do, the resistance tunnel. Oh, wow. And how you would move through it. I think there were some major story points and stuff like that really just didn't quite hit the mark. Factor in the performance and stuff, and yeah, it just kind of disappointed, I think, a lot of people was the thing. Uh-oh, they found him. They're gonna take him to a camp. Oh, the agony. Yeah, definitely something different and of its time. Oh yeah, I definitely gave this a bad score. I checked it out. I even called it an awful revolution. The story follows Brady, which seems to be this one guy in this revolution capable of doing anything. It makes you run across town for every tiny mission strung together. Yeah, okay. My review from back in the days kind of funny. Anyways, that's generally what the gist of it was for issues, I guess. The fact that you have to do all this kind of movement against these somewhat empty worlds. There's some activities you could take part in along the way that are kind of neat. And I think the multiplayer was decent, from what I remember. It should be neat to kind of show that off. I just remember being able to check it out back in the day and had an extra code review-wise with a friend, so we were able to kind of, experience it together, which was kind of neat. Definitely something a little bit different. And I think they did, kind of some unique things with this one, and stuff that I wish they would try again. Oh, geez, what are we doing here? I don't think that's working, whatever it is. Hello, I'm looking for the tunnel. Wow, these Americans, they look so distraught. They've lost everything. But yeah, an interesting selection of levels. I think the concept itself is kind of neat. Again, the execution doesn't necessarily hit the mark of expectations in this one. But it might be kind of cool to check out now if you're looking for something a little bit different story-wise. Just because you know, it is unique in its setup and a little bit of a different type of shooter. And I worked through it all back in the day. I was actually kind of a little disappointed I didn't seem to be able to find any sort of like level select, I guess you could say. I only had a few different save points that would take me right to the end of the game before you do the big kind of jobber segment, but I didn't really want to show that off because, you know, you wouldn't be too interested in checking it out. So I thought, hey, you know what? We'll show off the beginning of the experience. That's a neat thing to do, right? Something a little bit different, something a little bit intriguing. And also, I should mention that from the menu, you can actually play TimeSplitters in this one. So I'm going to be doing something to show that off as a separate thing, because I think that's the only way you could play it on the modern platforms, which is kind of funny. But yeah, as you can see, you know, it's a very first-person immersive type of setup. Usually you're kind of actually doing battles, and then there's these cinematic segments, which I think actually look fairly impressive in terms of the visual quality. I always remember the HDR being quite praised in this one for its implementation. I think this was a surprise Xbox One X enhancement as well, because a lot of people, you know, kind of didn't really check it out initially, and I guess it was a bit of a redemption for them to be able to improve what this has to offer. So it's like it's kind of an open world setup again. You know, you're doing your missions, a decent length, but there were so many problems, so many issues, so many like glitches, and it was just kind of, you know, it wasn't the most creative of setups, if that makes sense. And then you've got the multiplayer where you're kind of doing like a squad of 4 moving through missions. And these again felt kind of generic and not too wild. And I hope I'm not hating on it too much, but I'm mostly just trying to give the context of it. There are like light vehicle elements as well. I don't really want to spoil too much of the story. I don't know. We'll show off a bit of the loading right here. That'd be a good point to kind of present. I think nowadays it does load a little bit quicker, you know, getting to different areas and stuff, which is a nice benefit of the new platforms and everything like that. Oh, it's you!
Hello down there. I'm Dina.
Yeah, the character models actually look pretty good.
You are?
I mean, for the time and all that.
Spy.
That's enough of you. Welcome to the Resistance. Nothing like being part of us, ragtag, scrappy group of troops trying to make America whole again. High-level patriotism, yeah! U.S. flag, yeah! That's what I'm talking about. America, gotta have another flag. Can't tell that we're American without splashing that thing everywhere. USA. Oh. I'm stuck. Why can't I move? I remember you. Are we gonna be stuck here? I can't. Are you gonna phase through me? This is hilarious. Oh, gee, where did I get launched to? That was funny. You kind of pushed me out of the way. U.S. flag. Who took the time to spray paint that in here? Seriously, who had that time to do that? Why would you keep next-gen satellites as in the Philadelphia Times? In Philadelphia. I want to leave, sir. Can you please let me leave? That's not right. Oh, there's another U.S. flag. Jeez. We're gonna have a lot of those splashed around here. Anyways, interesting cast of characters. A neatish story you can work through. So different moments that kind of stand out, I guess. I don't really remember a whole lot of this as anything being too particularly memorable or exciting or really wildly refreshing. It was just kind of this experience that you played, and well, I did to cover in that. I just remember there actually being like a fair bit of hype and excitement behind it, and then it's just like falling flat. Do I have to buy anything? I don't really want to buy anything. Can I sell my valuables? For 40 bucks. Nice. Thank you for the SMG. Conversion SMG. Oh, look at me. I'm modifying my gun. Isn't that cool? But yeah, that's that element of like kind of craftability and stuff. And just remember taking long treks in this one to get places with not a whole lot in between. And it was like they were kind of going for like semi-open world hubs that you would battle through. Another American flag. And that was the you know, kind of what this was, you know, what the world kind of was composed of. Or another U.S. flag. Compromise. Another U.S. flag. Not just... Oh, and another one. the terminology I was thinking of. Oh, that's funny. Anyways, put together as just a series of these hub areas that you would go to in battle in order to get things done. That was really it, and someone looks a little bit happy to be an American. Oh, who knows, maybe the Canadians are in here. I wonder what Canada's like in this world. Is there any lore on that? I should actually read into that. Kind of interests me. Pick up the ingredients, yeah. We gotta craft things out. That's exciting. Well, it's kind of hard to pick up these ingredients if you don't give me the option. There we go. Then the crafting. I remember being put in like a camp in this one, and it was just like a terrible, terrible performance. Now we can move on to the real world and show more of the exciting loading. Yeah, it's kind of fascinating to go back to this one, because I didn't think I would ever necessarily play it again. But I was just thinking about it. I was like, this was one of those ones where I was like, the performance and stuff, and hence being a little bit of a fascinating thing to dive into, to take a look at. But I just want to show off a bit of the open world before we wrap it up here. Hopefully being able to show off the multiplayer again as well after this one. Because I did think that was kind of, you know, it had its moments. I was playing with a friend, so that was kind of nice.
We'll get you those locations. As soon as we can reach the KPA transceiver, we'll
Yeah, blah blah blah. People not being able to handle things. You know, sometimes night, sometimes day. We got like a map of the area and stuff like that, so you can see. You know, it's a pretty open area. We got a couple different things you can do in it. Fortresses, little battles to have, folks to kind of shoot along the ways. You kind of get with the team, and then you've got to battle the Koreans because somehow they took over the U.S. and you know the story kind of makes a justified means of it. I don't know if they'd have the population size to really maintain control over this large of a location, especially with the amount of guns and stuff they have there. But if we move that aside, you know, I think kind of offers some interesting gameplay moments throughout, and I think I just want to kind of show off this area here, this gunfight. But yeah, it's definitely just performing a lot better. Can I use this one? Is this one cool? Are you guys cool with this one? This high detailed skyscrapers back there. Steady my aim. Oh, it looks like those poor Koreans are coming and not seeing this obvious trap.
Not yet. Wait. Now.
Down goes the barrel, boom goes the tank. No? There we go, there goes the boom. That was kind of the explosion I was expecting. Oh, this one's blowing up. Yeah, it was sure smart of us to ambush them right beside where our base of operations is. Wow, they really did not give me like any ammo to work with. That was a little unsettling. How am I gonna do a revolution when you give me like scraps? Jeez, what is this? Huh. We've been found by a drone? Oh no, not a terror drone. But we want to fight them. I guess we're regrouping in an area that's not falling back. Yeah, we kind of like, we did this right in front of our own little base of operations. It makes no sense. Anyways, that's about all I have for Homefront, the Revolution. All I have to say, and I kind of hope this is the last time I have to jump into this one. Although, I would give some sort of, I guess you could say remaster or revamp or reattempt this franchise a try, or this game. I don't know. That might be interesting to see if they could do something more with it, but I think you need some real retooling to make this one work. So this is the multiplayer component of the game. I did find one other player, so that's kind of nice. Another US flag. And I think we're going to do this. Oh, that guy looks crazy. It looks like he's actually played quite a bit of this game. So anyways, you do your missions. We're going to show off a bit of this. I don't think it's going to go well considering the quantity of players that are doing this, which is basically just myself, it looks like. And, you know, you go in, you do your battle, you do your mission, and then you kind of call it a day, which is the gist of this one. And yeah, I don't think the multiplayer was by any means necessarily terrible. It just wasn't anything too, I don't know, creative, I guess you could say. It just didn't quite hit the mark. And then you add in all the other issues with the game, and you're just kind of like, ugh, wanting to be done. And that's really what this game was. It was just kind of like, okay, we're getting this done, and then we're moving on here. I don't know if the other guy's even playing or anything. He was moving around in the pre-kill cam thing, but seems like he's just chilling out now. Which means it's all up to me to be the resistance. How did he get to the second level of this building? I gotta say, I am perplexed by that. Oh look, it's a giant tank thing. That's fun. It's our hero! Onward Volcano. Ready to save the day with his crazy moves and his know-how of the game with his cool costume. But yeah, levels of customization. Ugh. And just kind of wonder, you know, when you think back to this one, did it hit the mark? Did it deliver? You know, was there some real potential here? Seriously? The hero of the world died? You were the chosen one, volcano guy? Ugh. You were supposed to bring balance to this, you know, dystopian, Korean-owned Philadelphia. Let's see what I got here. Oh, I got, explosive. Wow, I got absolutely demolished there. We are not holding our own, but at least it's performing quite well. That's good. 40 seconds or so to be revived. Well, left to be revived. Oh, you died too? Well, that didn't go well. Maybe we should have used an element of stealth. But yeah, you just kind of get this open-ended objective as you kind of move through the world and stuff. It's different. Okay, we're both dead. Do we just... Oh, yeah. Oh, no, because there's somebody else that joined. He's dead too. Okay, well, we failed. That was depressing. That was definitely underwhelming. I thought I would give this one more whirl with our team. We've now got 2 players here, and we appear to be the only one playing. But to be fair, it is kind of late at night, so I guess it is a legitimate possibility that you could actually get a squad together in order to play the game and experience the multiplayer component of it. So that's kind of nice. Oh man, I am just... Ugh. Fingers have seen better days. Holy, what difficulty are we playing at? I just got absolutely annihilated there. I thought those were some friendlies. Save me, AI. I don't remember this being so brutal. I think we're on normal difficulty or something. Looks like we've lost the onward to volcano. I'm down. Twisted Metal's down. Jeez, this is seriously depressing. Okay, well, I've had enough of this.